Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. We're about to embark on a seriously fascinating journey through one of the world's oldest and, frankly, most complex civilizations, China. So get comfortable, settle in, and let's unravel the faces of a billion stories together.
Okay, let's dive into this with a truly mind-bending fact. Despite its colossal geographical size, we're talking about a landmass that spans 5 different geographical time zones and technically sits 2.5 hours ahead of India. This massive country officially operates on just a single time zone, Beijing time. That means whether you're standing on the far eastern coast or way out in the deep western deserts, your clock is going to read the exact same hour. It's our first real glimpse into the incredible centralization of this vast nation.
To make sense of a place this massive, we're going to take a structured macro-to-micro journey today. We'll start big with geography and demographics, then move into the history of the dragon, unpack the economy and politics, explore culture and traditions, and finally wrap up with some amazing travel wonders, getting right down to the flavor of Sichuan spices.
So, Section 1, Geography and Demographics. To truly understand China, you really have to wrap your head around its immense scale. We're looking at 9.6 million square kilometers, bordered by 14 different countries, and home to a staggering population of around 1.4 billion people. And they're powered by a strict education system that drives a highly impressive 97% literacy rate.
Now, when you look at the land itself, a massive 70% of it is made up of mountains, plateaus, and hills. The geographic contrasts here are just extreme. You go from the towering, freezing Tibetan highlands, home to Mount Everest at 8,848.86 meters, all the way down to the arid Xinjiang, Mongolia region, which actually plunges 154 meters below sea level at the Ading Lake Depression. But it's actually in the fertile plains of eastern China where the vast majority of the population lives and farms. Weaving right through these extreme landscapes are the nation's lifeblood. 6,300. That is the length in kilometers of the Yangtze River, making it the third longest river in the entire world. But there's also the historically vital 5,464-kilometer Yellow River. It's considered the cradle of Chinese civilization. It's revered as China's pride. But, historically devastating floods have also earned it the pretty heavy title of China's sorrow.
Moving on to Section 2, History of the Dragon. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how we pivot from that vast geography to the actual 4,000-year-old roots of this civilization.
Because China isn't just old, it's one of the world's oldest continuously running civilizations. It's like a giant puzzle coming together over millennia. Starting with ancient roots in the Xia, Shang, and Zhou dynasties, it was the Qin dynasty that first unified the nation. This triggered the golden age of the Han dynasty, which, by the way, gave the world the Silk Road, paper, and the magnetic compass. But history is turbulent, right? From 1839 to 1949, China endured what's known as the Century of Humiliation, a rough period of intense foreign pressure and internal unrest. All of this ultimately culminated in Mao Zedong's establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949.
Emerging from that history, modern China created some incredibly powerful symbols of unity. Take the 5-star red flag. The colors and the stars visually represent the Communist Revolution and the unification of China's different social classes. Similarly, the national emblem frames the historic Tiananmen Gate with wheat and a gear. That's a direct symbol representing the agricultural and industrial workers that serve as the absolute bedrock of their society.
All right, let's shift gears to the modern era with Section 3, Modern Economy and Politics. We're going to see how this historical foundation built the world's second-largest economy. And this brilliantly illustrates a really surprising paradox. China is officially a communist state with a heavy, centralized governmental hand. Yet a staggering 60% of its GDP is actually driven by a booming, innovative private sector. They've transformed themselves from an agriculture-based economy into an absolute industrial powerhouse, pouring massive amounts of money into research and development to lead the globe in high-tech exports. The crucial takeaway here is objectively understanding this duality. Politically, you have a strict, centralized, authoritarian system governed by the CCP. And it's important to note there are well-documented international criticisms regarding human rights and restricted freedoms in autonomous regions like Xinjiang and Tibet. Yet economically, it operates as an aggressive, globalized free market titan. It's literally the world's factory, a clear leader in AI and 5G, and it's currently funding global infrastructure in over 146 countries through its massive Belt and Road Initiative.
Let's zoom back in from the macro politics to the micro level with Section 4, Rich Culture and Traditions. Despite the centralized governance we just talked about,
daily life is incredibly vibrant and diverse, shaped by 56 officially recognized ethnic groups. A huge part of this cultural fabric is woven through lunar festivals, from the family-centric Spring Festival, or Lunar New Year, to the Mid-Autumn Mooncake Festival. And here's a fun distinction. Unlike Western mythology, the dragon here isn't some monster to be slain. It's an ancient, deeply revered symbol of wisdom, power, and profound good fortune.
Let's move to and see how this builds into their daily rituals. And honestly, none is more important than tea. According to local legend, way back in 2737 BC, Emperor Shennong was just boiling some water when a few rogue leaves blew into his pot. What started as an accidental, medicinal drink evolved over thousands of years into a profound cornerstone of Chinese heritage, shaping everything from social gatherings to historical global trade. Of course, because the geography is so vast, the food varies wildly depending on where you are. Up north in Beijing, you have the national dish, world-famous Peking duck with its perfectly crispy skin. Down in the Cantonese south, you'll find delicate steamed dim sum. But travel over to the Sichuan province? Wow, your palate gets hit with fiery, tongue-tingling numbing spices in dishes like kung pao chicken and mapo tofu. It's a landscape of flavor every bit as diverse as its mountains and plains.
And that brings us perfectly to our final segment, Section 5, Wonders and Travel Guide, a practical look for the curious traveler.
If all this has sparked your curiosity and you want to see it in person, the historic marvels waiting for you are honestly hard to comprehend. The Great Wall stretches a staggering 21,200 kilometers. To put that into perspective, it's just an unbelievable feat of engineering. In Beijing, the massive wooden complex of the Forbidden City housed emperors for half a millennium. Head to Xi'an to stand before the massive underground terracotta army, or visit the Longmen Grottos to see an unbelievable 100,000 carved Buddha statues.
And the natural masterpieces, just as incredible. From the breathtaking biodiversity and crystal-clear lakes of the Zhujiago Valley to the gravity-defying stone pillars of Zhangjiajie. And fun fact, those towering pillars were so surreal, they literally inspired the floating mountains in the movie Avatar. You'll also find the unique Fujian Tulo, which are these ancient, circular earthen houses built as absolute masterpieces of communal living.
Now, if you're planning a trip, let's do a rapid-fire rundown of some essential cultural do's and don'ts. Punctuality and respecting elders? Those are non-negotiable. When bringing gifts, never give a clock or white flowers. Both have strong funerary associations and are considered bad luck. For that exact same reason, absolutely never leave your chopsticks standing upright in a bowl of rice, as it resembles incense at a grave. And a simple one to remember, always remove your shoes when entering someone's home.
So, as we wrap up today, take a moment to reflect on everything we've just explored. We are looking at a nation built on 4,000 years of profound history, yet it's accelerating into a high-tech future faster than almost anywhere else on Earth. It is a land of extreme juxtapositions, intense centralization, and booming innovation. So I leave you with this to ponder. A 4,000-year-old civilization rapidly building the future. What chapter will the dragon write next? Thank you so much for joining me. Keep questioning, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.